everyone. Thanks for pressing play. You are watching a brand new episode of Talking Comics, ExcaliburCCGTV, where every week we come together to tell you about the great comics that are hitting the shelf for that week. This week, we are talking about March 30th, 2016. I am Chris. This is my co-host, Randy. We get together every week to tell you about what's going on. You can always find out what's going on with comics and with our store in particular by going to our website, ExcaliburCCG.com. Thanks for pressing play. We really appreciate it. We have soared past the 900 subscriber mark. And anybody who is listening to us by way of iTunes, Stitcher, if you came to us from Weeby Geeks, if you came to us from BleedingCool.com, or if you even came to us from Between the Staples, thank you, Robert Parizek, for syndicating us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
It's a buddy of mine on Twitter that he's up in Canada, and he had his own website. He had his website Between the Staples going for a while. It was down for a bit. Now he's brought it back, and he's a fan of the show, and he's been sharing this on his site and Twitter and everything else. We really appreciate it, guys. Thank you all for being a part of the community. Special shout out there to Robert and BetweenTheStaples.com to check out what he's doing there as well.
Thanks, eh?
Definitely. So guys, listen, the next big event for us and most of the country, just to be honest with you, is Free Comic Book Day coming May 7th, 2016. The first Saturday of May, the same weekend, if I'm not mistaken, Captain America Civil War comes out.
That's how it's been for a while. They'll have some movie out the same time.
Yes. And we're getting ready for that. Details are to come. We still have some things that we are working out, but we are participating in Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah. Remember, with that being the same time, remember not to be a jackass when you're in the comic shops on Free Comic Book Day if you've already seen the movie.
Come on, guys and gals.
We'll keep on hammering that home because it takes a little more time to get through to some people than other people.
Exactly.
Probably not any of our viewers.
No.
They're smart.
No.
They're smart. Here's the other thing, guys. I want to preach a little bit right here about this. Free Comic Book Day is something that's very special to comic shops. It's designed for comic shops to have new customers come in and find something, get a chance to read something that they have not read before. Free Comic Book Day is a time for old customers to come in and pick up and try something that they haven't tried before.
Sure.
Free Comic Book Shop it's fun that it can have other things going along with it during the day, other events going on. But I encourage you, and I'm sorry for those of you guys that don't have comic shops close to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for those of you that have comic shops that are run by some real jerky people and you don't want to, visit their establishment. But I really recommend that you go to a comic shop that does this.
Yeah.
Because that is what it's intended for. All these other big corporation businesses that will have this, it's not meant for them. That's not the intent and purpose there. They don't care about the comic customer in the way that a comic shop cares about the customer. I mean, we are here for you specifically.
Places like...
I'm not going to say names.
Oh, man! I thought you were preaching, brother!
I'm not going to say names. Some places do have... But it's meant to be for the comic shop experience.
Yeah.
And I really hope that you try to go to a comic shop to experience that. That's one of the things that's very near and dear to me. And it's a little hurtful to see these other places stepping up and going, look at what we do with all this. But you don't care about what's going on here. You don't care. You don't know what Free Comic Book Day is supposed to even be about.
Right.
And so that's what it is. I love the festivities that can go along with it. And start planning the costumes, guys. If you plan on going in costume, even if you happen to be the only person, it's fun for us to see you.
It is cool. It's fun.
Yeah.
It really is. Man, last year was my first year to participate and help out here. Whew. My head was down stuffing bags for like 2 hours straight.
Yeah, I think that's before we ever had time to look up and see anything. It was about 2 hours going by.
Seriously?
One person after the other. And I love seeing that, but I hate that the people come by and they want to chat with you and say, hey, I haven't seen you. And you're just like, I'd love to talk, but I got to keep moving the line here.
Because the line's backed up out the door.
Yeah. Literally.
And honestly, I didn't even look up to look at anybody almost unless it was somebody say, hey, Chris, how you doing? What's going on? Oh, wait, exactly. Hey, man, I ain't seen you forever. Yeah. Hey. stuffing and giving. But guys, and every comic shop that does participate, they will have their own way that they're doing it, how they're giving stuff away. I've heard cases of where some places aren't. I've heard cases where the whole thing is not being done the way it should be, where you got to buy stuff to get free stuff. That's not the case.
That is not what Free Comic Book Day is.
That's not what it's about. It's not what it's about at all. So
we encourage you. I mean, while you're here, check a look on the shelf and see if there's something you want to buy. Yeah. Sure. But, I mean, it's Free Comic Book Day. Those are there for the customers.
Exactly. So, guys, get prepared. We are doing Free Comic Book Day at both locations, here in Shreveport, as well as in Texarkana, Texas. And we look forward to having a fun, exciting, busy day, taking care of all of our customers and fans of our shops that day, because it's going to be great. And, of course, probably fighting back spoilers from anybody who's watched Captain America Civil War. Because something's going to come up. Something's going to come up. But guys, thanks again to all of our new subscribers. Thanks for everyone that has joined our community here recently. We really, really appreciate it. Now, we're going to dive into some new number ones that are hitting the shelf this week. Man, we are going back in time this week.
That's right.
To a special time. To a time when things were different and exciting and maybe even extreme. Guys, this week, X-Men 92, number 1, hits the shelf from Marvel Comics by Chris Sims and Alti Francia. How about that? I think I did that pretty good right there. This is the continuation of the X-Men 92 series that we got from Secret Wars that happened last year. This is continuing that era of X-Men from the extreme decade of the 90s like it was. They have finally defeated Cassandra Nova. They have taken in all the young mutants that she has rounded up, and now they are reopening Xavier's School for Gifted Children. But on the brink of that happening, we also get an attack by Omega Red with the Soviet super soldiers that show up to cause havoc. Got it. So guys, all of you X-Men fans, especially guys that, if you're older, kind of like me, and you were there during all that time, and all the Jim Lee stuff was going on, and Chris Claremont writing, and all the stuff that was going on with all of that stuff has a special place in your heart, then you might find a special spot for this in your heart as well. And if you're just an X-Men fan in particular. So there we go, guys. Enjoy X-Men 92, number 1, hitting the shelf this week.
With 100% more Cyclops brother.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
We've also got, coming from Vertigo Comics, 6-issue series, Suiciders Kings of HelL.A. HelL.A is what it is. Lee Bermejo is back, but he's just on the writing chores with this. I'm okay with that because, he gave me a great first series with this, and his writing, he proved to me, can write just as well as he can draw. And if we want this series to come out on time, he's probably got to have someone else drawing it. With this series, it's taking place a generation after the whole Great Quake. You have people who've grown up in this world now without knowing what LA looked like before the big split of everything. One of those people is Johnny, who is now the leader of the Kings of HelL.A. That's the gang that he has. Everything seems great for him and his protection of his turf until he runs across and somehow, makes an enemy of Leonard, who happens to be a former suicider known as, I don't know, if you're a Texan like me, his name's Coyote. If you're anybody else, I guess it's Coyote. 6 issues. I'm really looking forward to this one. There's not a lot coming out on my list this week, but this one's definitely going to be at the top.
It's on my pull list too. Guys, another one from Image Comics. Power Lines. Number 1 hitting this week, all done by Jimmie Robinson, who's given us Bomb Queen, and there was another one last year. Empty, exactly. Tons of creator-owned stuff that he has done over the years. This one takes a look at a local street hood. A guy who's just a thug living in a crime-infested ghetto. His life is turned around when ancient magic gives him superhuman powers, except his abilities only work in an upscale white community that does not accept him. Yes, folks, they are playing the gritty race card going on here with this streetwise drama, which is Jimmie Robinson, and reading more about this, there's a particular reason why it won't work anywhere else. So, check out this series if you're a fan of Jimmie Robinson, or if you like this kind of drama, to see how this kind of racially charged type of setup will play out in the world of superheroes. So there we go, guys.
Chris, do you feel like we have enough Godzilla books out there right now?
There can never be enough.
There can never be enough. Never. Well, I'm glad you feel that way, because there's another one coming out. Godzilla Oblivion comes out, number 1, Josh Fialkov. This is IDW.
Yeah.
And with this, the whole idea is that there is a world or a dimension in which no monsters exist.
Okay.
But they've opened up some dimensional barrier, portal, into a world of, I guess, Godzilla. Kaiju, everything. And we're going to look at what happens when these explorers go over, I guess, to see the world, and when they come back, they happen to bring back with them a baby kaiju.
What?
So suddenly their world that had no monsters has one. When we're saying baby, he's probably not really that small.
Right. I was just thinking that. I was like, I wonder how big it actually is.
So I'm guessing that eventually we're going to need Godzilla to cross over to help save Tokyo.
Just a matter of
wherever it is.
Guys, those are our new number 1s. Hey, special quick note. If you've been watching several of our past episodes here, we've been throwing up some preview pages. I try to do that now for everything that I can, but sometimes with the deadline that we have to getting the show up, I'm not going to be able to include a preview of everything. But guys, be sure and check out the preview pages and check out, the extra detail and stuff that we're giving to you with each of these series. It's something for you to check out. If you like what you see, get it and tell us what you thought about it, because that's just another thing that we're trying to do to get you more prepared and more excited for the new stuff that is hitting the shelf and what's going on. And special thanks to our third man on the show, forever and always, Brad Campbell, for doing all the graphics that you see, because he just does a fantastic job.
Fourth man on the show.
Because
we have Buzz, too.
But I mean, every episode there's
there's always the third guy.
You and Brad. Yeah, that's what I meant in that.
There we
go. The fourth of the team, though, totally. So, but not the least, Brad, not the least at all. We love you. Come here. Okay, there we go. Moving on, guys. Storylines. Not a whole lot. Nothing from DC, but we do have an Avengers Standoff tie-in hitting this week with Captain America Sam Wilson, number 7, hitting this week. Guys, it's the 75th anniversary of Captain America.
Right.
Also, with this particular issue, we get to see that Steve Rogers has always wielded the red, white, and blue shield, and has always fought against unspeakable odds. He passed that on. Bucky Barnes picked it up. He's passed it on again. Sam Wilson's picked it up. But now, it looks like it's a time in his life where he has to pick it up again and face a foe that is so deadly it could be his final, last stand. Who is that? What is that? We will find out in this issue. Also, in this issue, we get additional stories and art by creators like Greg Rucka, Mike Perkins, Tim Sale, and even John Cassidy. And if I'm not mistaken, in this issue, Joss Whedon writes some Captain America as well. I think that's the story that John Cassidy is drawing.
John Cassidy, yeah.
So guys, there we go. All of you Captain America fans, do not miss this 75th anniversary issue. Also, an Avengers Standoff tie-in issue to enjoy as well.
Yeah.
So guys, there we go. Now moving on to some of our favorites. It is not a huge week this week, guys, but we do have several things that we want to share with you, tell you about. Randy, what is up for you, sir?
We've got Darth Vader number 18 coming out. This is a great story arc that they just started here where there's a battle for resources. The Empire desperately needs them. They've been coming in. There's been some sort of stall or hiccup. Vader's gone out to make examples and get things flowing smoothly again. But there are a couple of people, Silo and his forces, that are looking to possibly show Vader up and tell the Empire that they're not going to bend. So cool little story that they have with that. Also, one of my favorite things, and not just because I love to plug it on this show, but because usually the first night that I get home with my comics, when the new Previews magazine comes out, that's all I look at. I don't even look at my comics. I go through that, start putting together what is my next list going to look like for that month. This is going to be the stuff for June. Should be a little side note here. I don't know how it's going to happen exactly. You may get a very limited DC list, and then you will get an extra book for the previews that's going to have the full listings when they're ready to reveal the full listings. DC will do that. The other thing that's good about, or that's important about this one, is this one right here is the start of the extra catalog, the image catalog that you can get. And with the image catalog, it comes free with the previews, or I think it's $1.25, something like that, on the shelf that you can pick it up. Why do you want to pick this up? If you are a completist and a Walking Dead fan, this is going to be the first of 12 preview magazines that will have this origin story of Negan.
Yes, that's right.
So that begins with this previews.
Yes.
It's coming out. Get it, please.
Yeah.
At least I do believe it comes in this previews.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think so. That this is when they had originally said it would start.
Okay.
Whether or not they've done something to screw with that, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I haven't seen anything recently. But this was the original intended target.
Yeah.
Was June.
Hey guys, I don't know if you've ever picked up the preview catalog and thumbed through it, but man, you can just dive into it for an hour easily.
It's dangerous.
It's so cool to go from the different sections. I like going in there and checking out the apparel section, finding cool shirts and different things like that in there.
To see the pop vinyls that are coming out.
Exactly.
Those are fun. There's statues that I can never afford.
I know exactly right. Exactly. So, yeah, guys, check that out. Moving on for me, guys, one of the series that we read, I know Randy and myself do, I think Buzz is picking it up as well. The first volume of Paper Girls hits the shelf this week. This is from Image Comics. This is from Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang. Paper Girls storyline, the first 5 issues are collected in this first volume, hitting this week. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a $9.99 or $9.95 price tag. Low entry-level price tag, 5 issues for that price. Yeah. Something for you to dive in and check out. And this simply takes a look at 4 12-year-old newspaper delivery girls in 1988 and how their world is turned upside down just like that. And there's so much more to it. I don't want to spoil it for you. But, guys, if you haven't checked it out, pick up this low-entry first volume and check it out and have fun with that because it's been a great story so far.
See if you could tell us what went on there because there's some craziness.
There is some absolute craziness. I'm really digging Chang's art as well. Yeah. Also, guys, another one that I think all 3 of us get, Saga number 35, hits this week, and all we got to say about this is hard time, baby, hard time. I think this takes a look at Grandma and her time in prison where she is as well. Plus, I'm sure many other things along the way as well.
Looks like she's just getting some new ink on
That's
the
right,
cover
baby.
of it.
Get some neat. Stay still. It's me. Guys, those are our favorites hitting the shelf for this week.
What you imagine it's like?
Be still. I said be still. Hey, guys, you know what time it is. We have a different question of the week this week. We're not focusing on TV and movies and trailers and all that jazz. We are focusing on the big 3. Randy, take it away.
I want to know, in a world where something happens, that the big 3, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, just, bam, are gone, cease to exist, who would step in? Who would take over? Who would be DC's new big 3? Where would they begin to circulate? If the creators woke up one day and they no longer had Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman there in their brains, who's it going to be? If you ask me, I'm all right. I'm going to have a little fun here.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going. There are a few different ways I could go. My first was going. I could go ahead and say Power Girl as Superman, Mr. Terrific as Batman,
cool,
and Nightwing as Wonder Woman.
What?
You know, he's kind of the heart there of the Bat family stuff, and he's the heart. That's what Wonder Woman is. She's the heart. My other way that I was going to go was a lot different, in which it was like Martian Manhunter was your Superman, Stargirl was your Wonder Woman, and Lex Luthor was your Batman.
Oh, I like that.
Either way, I would love to see kind of a world like that if they did an Elseworld kind of thing like that.
Nice.
I'd like to see that.
Nice.
But I wouldn't like to see the Elseworld where, you know, there's Clark Kent who's really doing this and there's Diana Prince and a world without.
So guys, tell us your big three. My big three would be Captain Marvel.
Okay, easily.
I think that I would go with. I'm kind of thinking Power. There's a couple different things. Definitely Captain Marvel. Zatanna, and
cool.
For the human guy, the real guy, the street level person, I would go with Green Arrow.
Oh, okay. Well, I figured with that crew you were throwing there, you were going to give me like Constantine or something.
No, but another team that I did think about was Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
And Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
And then Green Lantern. And I would go with the John Stewart Green Lantern.
Oh, see. It's always Guy Gardner with me.
It is, isn't it?
I almost threw a loop and was going to say like Kilowog.
Nice.
But no.
So, yeah. Have fun with it, guys. Yeah, with this past weekend, Batman vs Superman coming out, Randy was like, let's just turn the big three on its head and
have something fun, something different. We love to put our own little teams together.
Exactly.
And I wanted to do something like that.
Hey man, have you seen what's been going on with my boy Gilgamesh and the Hercules series?
He's
just not right.
Cheerios.
Just not right. So guys, tell us in the comments below who would be your big three in a DC universe without Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman. Tell us in the comments below. Tell us about the new number ones you're picking up. If you're going to check out some of the stuff that we discussed as our favorites, especially the previews catalog and the first volume of Paper Girls. Tell us what you're getting, guys. We want to know in the comments below. Let's have a conversation down below. We will meet you down there. Anything else to add, sir?
Sounds good to me. I'm ready to go home.
Ready to go? He's ready to go. I got places to go, things to do as well. So, guys, until our next video, take care, be safe, read some great comics, leave us some fantastic comments down below, and we will see you in our next video. Bye-bye. Boom.
In a world without Batman,
Superman,
or Wonder Woman.
In a world.